So in the today's session, we will talk about the global infrastructure of AWS, like how they maintain their end infrastructure and how they call it as, how many data centers they do have. All these components we will cover in the today's session. Before getting into the actual global infrastructure part, when the AWS was officially launched for the public, any guess? 2006, AWS was officially launched with the first generation service, like means with a minimum or a limited services, like a storage called simple storage service. Very few services. There was AWS was launched in the year 2006. Okay, so whenever we use or we select any cloud computing, the most important part is the availability, right? Availability means at any given point of time, whatever the services we are running on the cloud must be available for the public. That is high availability, right? So here, Amazon is committed to provide you 99.99 percentage of high availability, or we can call it as SLA, service level agreement, which means in any given year, they will make your services or servers available for 99.99 percentage of the time. Amazon is committed to provide you 99.99 percentage of availability. To provide that availability, how they are maintaining their infrastructure, how they are maintaining their infrastructure. That is the most important, right? Okay, let us get into that. So already we know AWS is a cloud provider which will offer you the compute resources over the internet. And they are committed to provide you high availability, scalability, and reliability. Availability means at any given point of time, your services are available to access. Scalability means you can increase or you can reduce the capacity according to your requirement. Reliability means, let us say something is happened on the data center, everything got corrupted or crashed. Even in such cases, if AWS is able to recover all your data, then we can say that cloud provider is a highly reliable. Means you will never lose the data. Okay. Now, to achieve these things, how Amazon will maintain their infrastructure. So there are three important terms by using which these three, they can provide you high availability, they can provide you high availability, high scalability, and also performance. I will explain like how your performance, I mean, what component will be used to improve the performance and all the things. And then the reliability. I will explain each term, no need to worry. So these are the three major components of AWS Global Infrastructure in order to provide you high availability, scalability, reliability, and also the performance. What is a region? What is a region? Any guess? Any guess what is a region? Region is a geographical location. Like in India, we have two regions as of now. Out of those, one is a Mumbai and the second one is Hyderabad. In the same way, they do have maintained their data centers in the across the globe. They will maintain different regions. Region is a geographical location which contains multiple availability zones. What is that availability zone? Availability zone is the actual data center in which your physical services or physical resources are maintained. So ignore these numbers because it's an old slide. That's why the numbers are wrong. I will let you know what are the actual numbers. So here, as of now, you can see region is a separate geographic region. So I can say in this way, You can consider this rectangular box as a region which contains multiple isolated availability zones. The availability zone is actual data center. Availability zone is the actual data center in which all your physical resources and everything will be maintained. Why they will maintain multiple availability zones? I will give a simple example. Let us say this is a Hyderabad region. Assume that they have two availability zones, 1 and 2. This is a region and this is availability zone. So here you created one server and one server is running in this particular data center. I mean, in the Hyderabad itself, they will maintain two different locations or two different buildings separated by some distance, so that if something happened on this particular data center, without any impact, your server will be automatically moved to a other availability zone in the same region and it is available for access. If there is no such multiple availability zones, if this entire availability zone is affected with some flood or a fire accident, all your servers will be down and all data will be lost. That's why they will have multiple availability zones in each region. Based on, as of now, every region contains minimum 3 availability zones. Minimum 3 availability zones. And coming to the edge locations, I will explain that later. For now, let me show you the global infrastructure map. The same thing, let me open a browser. Okay, this is the AWS official web page, aws.amazon.com slash something something. So let me share that in the chat box so that you guys will can open it and just you can check that also. Okay, so here you can see the map in which you can see some green dots and red dots, right? Red dots are existing regions. Existing regions. If you zoom out, if you zoom in the India point, how many green dots are there? Two, right? Which means in India, we have two regions. What are those? Let me hover the mouse. Wait, let me Mumbai, right? In which year it was launched? In 2016. And how many availability zones it contains? 3 availability zones. Now let me go to the Hyderabad. When it was launched, just it's been like 2 years completed, 2.5 years. I think it was in 2022 December or November. I don't remember exact month, but it's in 2022 December. And it was launched in 2022 and it has 3 availability zones. Means in the Hyderabad region, they will maintain 3 different data centers which are isolated with each other. If something happened on the data center 1, it will not impact the data center 2 and data center 3. See here, which is Ohio, launched in 2016. AWS Government Cloud, which is the example for community cloud. Once we create the AWS account, I will show you that being a normal user, we can't use that particular region to create your servers and services. This is the first region, Northern Virginia, in which they have 6 availability zones. 6 availability zones. The regions, which is a separate geographic region, which has multiple isolated locations called availability zones, and then which is to achieve the highest availability, lowest faults. All these availability zones are connected using a network with a low latency. What is the meaning of a latency? Is less, the performance will be good. The data will be transferred with highest possible speeds. Availability zones are the actual physical data center. Data center means we can say, in our layman's word, I can say server room. Means that is the building in which all the physical servers are located, all the devices are located, and everything will be exist as a physical component. Each availability zone is equal to a single data center. They are separated by with a few kilometers away, and always they will choose the availability zones which are less prone to the floods and earthquakes. Now, coming to the edge location, these are the caching points. These edge locations are used to improve the performance. Improve the performance of your applications and all. Okay, let us say here there is a website called yahoo.com, okay, which is in USA. The server is located in the US. Now, here there are two users. One is from US and there is another user who is from India. Okay, they're having a laptop. Both are having the same type of a laptop. They are using the same internet connection, same speed internet connection. Everything is identical. Okay, so I can say that he is a user one and he is a user two. They opened their browser and they typed yahoo.com in the browser. And for the US person, user one, it took 2 milliseconds to load the yahoo.com page. Now the question is, how much time that it will take for user 2 to load the same yahoo.com page with the same kind of a laptop and the same kind of an internet connection? Is it same 2 millisecond, or is it less than 2 millisecond, or greater than 2 millisecond? Can you guess and give me the answer in the chat box, please? Yes, obviously higher time. It might take, let us say, 10 millisecond. Why? This user is far away from this particular server. He is far away from that particular yahoo.com web server, which is high latency. The latency will be high. To send a request and to receive a response, it will take more time. They maintain edge locations across the globe in the major cities, like some like this. One, two, three. Let us say this is in Bangalore, this is in Hyderabad, this is in Delhi. What they do, they will maintain a copy of the websites or web applications in all the edge locations across the globe. Whenever this India user is trying to access that website, whatever the edge location is closer to this user, the data will be downloaded or accessed from the nearest edge location. So he might get the same 2 millisecond or a 3 millisecond. Obviously, it is more performance, right? The performance has been increased with comparatively with the 10 millisecond. This Amazon proposed a thing called shared responsibility model. Who is responsible for the security of the cloud? So here, the responsibilities of making the cloud secure is shared across the AWS and the user. Okay, if you see this particular cloud, whatever the things you can see in the orange color, the security of that particular components are AWS responsibility. And in the dark blue color, that is the customer responsibility, like user, our responsibility. Security of the cloud is AWS responsibility. We can say security of the cloud and security in the cloud.